With the pandemonium that followed those twin explosions at yesterday's Boston Marathon, it's hard not to draw comparisons to the hysteria following the September 11th terrorist attacks in New York. In both events, it was those first responders going into the mouth of danger to help others at their own risk. And it seems to be one of the most lasting images. Foreigner Quarters' Liza Fernandez sat down with one of New York's finest to get his impression about what the president is now calling an act of terror.
Emily, Bruce Smith retired from the NYPD after the 9/11 terror attacks, but he says it's hard to just sit on his hands while something like the Boston bombings happens, no matter how long he's been off duty.
This retired New York City cop's blood still runs blue.
And you kind of feel like it's in our nature when you're a cop and you're in the military, it's your nature, like you want to do something.
The images coming out of Boston remind Bruce of the brothers and sisters he's lost.
John was a fireman. He never came out of 9/11. And I lost 67 friends in a matter of hours. And then you hear the Boston thing. You know, it's upsetting.
But Bruce tells me he wasn't surprised to hear about what's now being called a terroristic bombing in Boston.
We don't start remembering our past, then we're going to these things going to keep happening. You know, we're not very liked in the world.
He just hopes the intention behind this act, the memory of the victims and efforts of the heroes endure this time.
It's the real people. You know, it was the cops, it was the firemen, it was construction workers, it was nurses. You know, it's the regular everyday people who stepped up to the plate and swung some home runs.
Because they surely will never forget.
When you're a first responder, you got to deal with everything, and it doesn't hit you until a couple months later because you got to deal with your job, you're dealing with everything that's going on.
What could help prevent terroristic events like the Boston bombing, says Bruce? Something Americans have resisted taking on, and that's more security. Live in the studio, Liza Fernandez, Fox 4 in your corner.